This is Courtroom Explained, where we focus on legal process rather than headlines or assumptions. This content is educational only and not legal advice. Some criminal cases resurface years later, not because new crimes occur, but because new truth emerges. Today's case involves Colin Howell and what happens legally when someone confesses decades after a crime. According to court records, the case concerned the deaths of Lesley Howell and Trevor Buchanan in 1991 in Northern Ireland. At the time, the deaths were treated as a tragic incident, and no criminal charges were brought. One key fact is that nearly 20 years later, Howell voluntarily confessed to police. His admissions included detailed descriptions of how the deaths were staged, including information that was not publicly known. A second important fact is that investigators did not rely on the confession alone. Authorities tested Howell's statements against forensic evidence, timelines, and prior investigative records to determine whether the confession was reliable and corroborated. A third point is that under Northern Ireland law, murder has no statute of limitations. This meant prosecutors could bring charges despite the long delay, as long as a fair trial remained possible. It's also important to clarify how this differs from the Hazel Stewart case, which some viewers may already be familiar with. That case involved a different decade, a different jurisdiction, and a different evidentiary framework centered on circumstantial proof rather than a delayed confession. There is no legal or factual connection between the two cases. For viewers interested in that comparison, our full breakdown of the Hazel Stewart case is available on this channel for reference. Howell ultimately pleaded guilty in the Crown Court and received a life sentence. The court emphasized both the seriousness of the crimes and the prolonged deception that delayed accountability. The legal lesson from this case is that delayed confessions do not prevent prosecution. Courts focus instead on voluntariness, corroboration, and whether justice can still be fairly administered. How should courts balance the passage of time against the need for accountability in serious crimes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you value calm, unbiased explanations of court decisions, consider subscribing to Courtroom Explained.